What's going on, good people? It's your boy Peacemaker back with another video. In this video here, this is actually my first Ghost of Yotei. Yeah, this is my first Ghost of Yotei video. So in this video here, I'm going to be going over my Shinobi build, which personally is my favorite build type in this game. So let's head over towards what is this thing called? The modified class. So between the samurai, the archer, mercenary, and the shinobi, as you can see, I'm rank 92. Hope I can get to 100 with sometime this week. But really, we just want to kind of go over the details as to my approach to the build. Now, as is stated in the thumbnail, this is a no gun shinobi. I know a lot of players leaning more towards the ranged weapons going into Ghost of Yotei. Granted, the raid just came out as well, so but I'm gonna still stay true to my no gun shinobi. So let's start with the basics. Well, not the basics. Let's start far away from the bottom and work our way to the top. I'm gonna kind of take the same approach I use for my Skull and Bone videos. So for one of my legendaries, I went with the Purifying Healing Incense, and it says this deploys incense. This deploys incense that grants spirit and heals nearby allies over time. Has a 90-second cooldown. So my perks of choice was the perfect counter damage, which I already have everything maxed out at 35% there, and then I have my spirit move damage with an additional 20% that's also maxed out. And as for my reroll perk, I went with the armory, which is going to create random ammo pickups on use. And I'll explain that as I move up the list. So for my next gear of choice, I went with the kunai, which is just really just a throwable. It has a 30-second cooldown. My first perk that I rolled for the kunai was the ghost to cooldown reduction of 11%. I could have went with the assassination spirit game, and you can see the possible outcomes off to your top right. But since this already has a 30-second cooldown, I wanted to reduce that by 11%. And not only is that 11% going to apply to my kunai, that's also going to apply to the healing incense that I previously shown. I also went with the spirit move damage by an additional 20%, so that increased my spirit move damage by overall of 40%. And my reroll perk for the last one for my kunai, the possible outcomes were a fire kunai, and I went with the hidden blaze where I could throw 4 additional kunai because from what I've experienced from my gameplay, I do get sometimes outnumbered quite a bit. I'm pretty sure we all experienced that. So having 4 additional ones can kind of come in clutch. Uh, yeah. Okay. So for my charm, I went with the basic charm. I know most shinobis are gonna go with the shinobi shadow, which I did for a while. As you can see, is maxed out, but um, I cleared that out to have the ability to gain my spirit back and also heal. Now, with the Shinobi Shadow, well, let me explain. So, one of the passive abilities of the Shinobi has the Chain Vanish, which assassination, sorry about that. Successful assassinating an enemy while class ability is active, reactivates, vanish, and refreshes duration. Now, the Shinobi Shadow does stack on top of that, as it says there. Yeah, stacks with the Chain Vanish perk, so you can vanish up to 3 times. But I found a counter to that, which is why I went with the Healing Incense. Because if I can do I'm kind of jumping the gun a little bit. I replaced the Shinobi Shadow with this because my main weapon of choice, the perks of it, killing the enemy with claw and talon makes you vanish. So, and it states here underneath the vanishing, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It says if extremely effective against shields, rolling sweep, triangle while rolling, furious whirlwind, hold and release triangle, and it says claw and talon triangle plus circle, but it costs one spirit. So that's why I have this here, which the poison insect that grants spirit and heals. So I made up for the Shinobi Shadow by granting me more spirit to do a claw and talon. So whenever I get assassination with the claw and talon, I'm going to vanish anyway. Plus, I'm going to be healed up. That's the reason I kind of skipped out on the Shinobi Shadow. But the basic charm, pretty much a basic charm that has with no special abilities. I focused on um, what did I just do? Uh-oh, I went to the wrong one. My bad. There we go. I focused on the spirit heal effect, which I'm already gonna be getting healing from the healing incense. And since I'm gonna be getting spirit anyway, I'll explain a little bit further as we go along. By me increasing my spirit heal, just in case, let's say if I get pushed out of my healing incense area of healing, I can still get enough spirit to where I could possibly get some of my health back regardless. Also, I went for the perfect parry window, which is caps out at 36%, and then my spirit heal caps out at 45%. And I'm really big on parrying, so for me, bullet defense would be nice, but in those really clutch moments, that parry heal does like keep you in the fight. Honestly, from what I've experienced, I do have some video behind this description of my build, but you'll see it kind of come together in the gameplay. Now, for my next gear, I went with the Blinding Mind, and the first perk. Well, let me. I went to the perks. Let me explain what it does. So I went with the blind mind, blinds enemies within a small radius and creates a shrewd area that conceals your movements. Now I know a lot of people roll with the concussion bombs and where you can get also the scorch bombs. But with the blind bomb, with it creating an area that conceals your movement, that puts you in a position where, at least from what I've experienced, to get a critical hit or possibly a assassination. So my first perk I rolled for the blind mom, which is obviously I want to increase the radius, which caps out at right now 11%. I could have also went with the blind bomb duration, but I rather blind as many enemies as I possibly can to get that critical hit or assassination. And I also went with the blinding bomb. My second perk for the blind bomb is the spirit move damage by an additional 20%. And my last perk I rolled was increased impact, which is going to increase stagger and blind duration. So that made up for, what was it? The blind bomb duration. I can increase the duration and also increase the stagger with increased impact. Um, I did already previously explain as to what I was going with this. Um, I still don't know how to pronounce that name of that weapon, but obviously the perks, as I previously explained, killing enemies with claw and talon makes you vanish. So the first perk I rolled with that was the perfect counter damage at plus 35% S. And then in my second perk I went with was the perfect parry window of 36%. And then my last one I rolled for this weapon in particular was the Shattering Strike. Shields destroyed with this, I don't want to pronounce that wrong, I'm going to say weapon. unleashes an explosive of shrapnel, inflicting stagger damage to nearby enemies. So for my Yari, I went with the Swift one. Let's see what did I roll. So for my first perk for my Swift Yari is the perfect counter damage at 30%. Caps out at 30%. And I also went with the spirit move damage by an additional 20%. I did kind of like play around with like different like possible outcomes, but for some reason the spirit move kind of stuck out the most, especially being able to vanish after I do the claw and talon attack. And my last perk, I went with the Quicken Ties, which is going to reduce time of a fully charged Typhoon Kick. Because honestly, me trying to get a full charge on Typhoon Kick usually puts me in a bad situation, so I'd rather reduce that time. Now, lastly, for my last gear is the Adadu Kunai. I believe I said that right, which is effective against swords. And you can do a spirit move called the Heavily Slash by pressing triangle and circle, but it costs you one spirit. Now for my perks that I went with, sorry about that. For my kunai was the perfect counter damage at plus 30%, and for my second one I went with also with the perfect parry window by plus 36%. And then my last perk I rolled, what I went with was the Resolve of Lightning, which is going to increase stagger damage inflicted by each parry with the kunai. But that's only with the kunai. That does not apply to any other weapons that I'm using. Even though I main this one, if I really want to focus on stagger damage, I will swap to my kunai. Now, as far as my techniques, obviously you get this one. Um, my first technique of choice is the group vanish. You and nearby allies briefly vanish into a cloud of smoke. For my perk 1 for my technique, I went with the assassination damage, which increases damage of assassination by 20%. My perk 2 for my technique, I increased spirit maximum by 2. Since I'm going to be gaining spirit anyway from the healing incense, I figure why not stack up on the spirit, so just in case I'm in a pinch, I still have 2 more spirits to use, whether it's to heal or do the claw and talon. Now for my last one, I went with with for my techniques perk 3, I went with the Shadow Strike Vanish, which after using Shadow Strike, you vanish for a short duration. Well, pretty much you vanish for a short time, which is going to lead either to a critical or, as you can see, another assassination. So overall, I have, let's do the math. At the bottom, we have spirit move damage plus 20% with our purified healing incense. We have an additional 20% on our spirit move with our kunai for another 20%. That puts us at 40. Let's see, spirit move with the blinding bomb. I also increased the spirit move damage by another 20%. That puts us at 60% damage for our spirit move. And then let's see. There we go. For my Swift Kari, which is the second gear I have, I also have the spirit move damage for another 20%. So that's 20, 40, 60, 80% spirit move damage. And that's really to focus on killing enemies with claw and talon makes you vanish. So I had to do, again, I had to kind of make up for the perk that the Shinobi Shadow has. I do have a different setup, but this is the main one that's been working quite well for me. Let's see what else. Now, again, this weapon here, I don't know what it's called. It does not really do a lot of melee damage, So that's why I focus so hard on the perfect counter damage. And in total, we have, let's see, Purified Healing Instant, perfect counter damage of 35%. And we also have an additional 35% with our Vanishing Weapon, perfect counter damage of another 35%, which puts us at, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Nope, I missed it. So, what's that? So, with our Purified Healing Instant, we have perfect counter damage plus 35. With our Vanishing Weapon, we have another 35 with our perfect counter damage. We have another perfect counter damage of 30% with our Kari, and we have another 30% with our Katana. So starting with gear 1, we have 30% there. Our gear 2, the Yaris, that puts us at 60. With our Vanishing Weapon, that puts us at with the perfect 35% counter damage. And we have, let me make sure I'm not missing anything. We have another 35 on top of the healing incense. So 30 and 30. 35. Wait, 30, 30, that's 60. 95 plus another 35. Let me make sure I did my math right. That puts us at 95. Wait, I hit a blank. I hit a blank. Oh shoot. My bad. It's my first day off in a minute. I'm not all the way there yet. I don't want to tell y'all the wrong number though. Just give me 1 second. And I promise you, I'm not dumb. Like I said, it's my first day off in like 3 months. So I'll just 95 plus 35 puts us at an overall of 130% perfect counter damage. Now, on top of the perfect counter damage, we have a perfect parry window of 36% with our basic charm. We also have another perfect parry window of 36% with our vanishing weapon. So that puts us at, let's see, at a 72% chance of having a perfect parry window, in addition to the other 36% that we're getting with our katana, which puts us at a overall of 108% perfect parry window. So me being able to counter and then do a bunch of damage right behind it is a huge thing for me, especially since I don't have a gun on me. It did take me a while to get the timing right, but it worked out just fine. Is there anything else I need to go over? That's pretty much it. This is my Shinobi build that works best, at least for my playstyle. Again, I will be having a video towards the end of this, which is coming to an end as we speak. But um, definitely let me know what you think. Um, like, like I said, I know a lot of people are leaning heavy towards the weapons like this, whereas the storms tend to. Anyway, this is one of the weapons this is a pistol that you can use, which massively increases capacity of 6 bullets that can be fired in quick sessions at the sacrifice of 30% reduction damage. Has a 40-second cooldown. Now I do have a Shinobi build where I can use this, the Spirit Kunai, which lowers all cooldowns by 10% when used to kill an enemy. And this only has a 30-second cooldown compared to, oh, they both have a 30-second cooldown. I'm just now noticing that. Okay. Did hmm. So if I do that on top of the ghost cooldown reduction, if I max that out, uh-oh. I didn't mean to do that. I'm pretty sure that would reduce cooldown Goes to a cooldown, so 11%. I probably do. I'll probably show that other build with this here later. But that's pretty much it for my Shinobi. Um, Hopefully you enjoyed that build. If you want to try it, I know it's gonna take some time to get there, but they do have. I forgot to mention. I think it's under charms. Yes, they do have these cards out now. Uh, what is it? Sensei Guidance, a charm to train others. Sacrifice all your missions. Reward XP to distribute to other players. You can do that to, let's say, if you want to actually try this build and you have someone with you to actually do it, you can run this. I don't know how that works just yet, but we'll see. The main thing I'm trying to go ahead and get unlocked is this here. I have 8 more ranks to go before I can actually reach Shinobi level 100. But yeah, try to build out. Let me know what you think. Or if you don't want to try it out, still let me know what you think. Input is valuable. I don't know everything there is to know about this game. But with that being said, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Hopefully you are having a blessed day, and I will see you all in the next video. Take it easy.
クロードが倒れた。